Hello, my name is Julio Don with Alky Control Incorporated. We make and manufacture alcohol injection systems for performance vehicles. The purpose of this video, today is November of the year 2024. The reason I mentioned the time is to bring you up to date on what we do currently and why we do it. I wanted to show the basics of a system, the components, and the reason behind those components to be able to show our customers why things are and the reason for them, because there's a lot of misconceptions within this particular market as to what is needed, what is not needed, and this is my professional opinion from being in this business, in this realm of business since the year 2003. This puts us over 21 years manufacturing these systems. And we've had some trials and tribulations, to which leads us to current technology, and the reason for everything is in here is for a particular reason. So, what is alcohol or methanol injection? Methanol injection means that we're going to inject a liquid into the engine that is going to stop and suppress detonation so that the engine can run a lot higher timing levels, boost levels, and create a lot more power. The basics of the system are you're going to have a tank or a reservoir, whether it's a tank that's mounted in the trunk or it's a tank that's mounted under the hood, but somewhere we have to put liquid that's going to be injected into the engine. From this tank will go a line, a hose, that'll go to a pump. This pump will have fittings on it, and then this is the pump that basically pumps the liquid into the engine under load or boost, depending on how the system is configured. The pump will have a connector, an electrical cable. The pump will be controlled by an electronic controller, and the electronic controller simply, you preset at what load or boost level you want the kit to activate at, and then from there, the pump gets power, liquid goes through the pressure hose to a filter. From the filter, it goes to a pressure switch, and then the pressure switch will then let us know the system is building pressure. From this filter and switch goes another line, which then goes to a nozzle, which is going to go into the intake manifold, whether it's before the throttle body, after a mass airflow sensor in the intake, etc. There's going to be indicators on the kit. In this example, with these trunk tanks, there's going to be a float switch, which is mounted on top of the tank, and then when the liquid level goes low, there's going to be a red light that comes with the kit, and that red light will turn on, letting you know, hey, time to put liquid into the tank. There is a clear light on the system, and then this clear light goes mounted somewhere as well. Some kits will come with this LED panel that you can put on the windshield as an accessory. Some other ones may only come with an LED that's on top of the dash. This light is clear and will have two colors. It will have a red condition and a green condition. When the kit becomes active, the light's always going to turn on red. Once the system builds over 50 pounds of pressure, thanks to the pressure switch sends a signal to the controller, and the controller makes the light change from red to green. The green indicator means that you've exceeded 50 pounds of pressure and is letting us know that not only is the system on, but we physically have liquid pressure. So an example is if the hose came off of the nozzle, disconnected from the filter, this light would never be able to change to green. That's the reason for the pressure switch on our system. We're the only company right now that's putting pressure switches on systems to let the end user know that the kit is building pressure and is working. Nobody else is doing this. Another feature of our systems is all of our lines are stainless steel braided. The ends are crimped on by hydraulic press, and these lines are rated at 1500 psi, meaning this will never burst. It's a stainless steel jacket with a PTFE inside. The reason for the brass is so that it cannot corrode with the methanol alcohol that is residing within the system. So this is something that is pretty much lifetime. There's no reason to ever change this line. Some companies like putting the anodized aluminum fittings, but those fittings always run the risk that where the threads are and the connections for the threads the anodization can come off, and then the alcohol will attack the fittings, creating then a problem. There is the other option of making these lines with stainless steel fittings for those that don't like the look of brass. But the stainless and brass fittings, both of them, will function the same. In other words, there's no performance enhancement going with stainless over brass. So we have to be careful when folks want to use our kit and change the fittings to aluminum, that they have to understand the risk of running aluminum is that the anodization on the aluminum comes off, you're going to have a leak and a failure, especially if it's under pressure, especially if it's going into an engine compartment. So these are the basics of the kit, and I wanted to at least explain some of this stuff, and I want to get into more videos and bring a little history on the way we've done this. Thank you for attention to this, and on to the next video.